Good morning and welcome. Today we're going to talk about lesson 9.3, solving equations by graphing. This is a very short and very simple, straightforward lesson. Quadratic equations are in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, where a does not equal 0. Solutions to quadratic equations have two names, and we generally use either one of these. They're either called the roots or they're called the x-intercepts. They're called the x-intercepts because the solution to a quadratic equation is where the graph, remember that U-shaped curve, that parabola, crosses or touches the x-axis. Now this is also extremely important. Quadratic equations can have one root, meaning they touch the x-axis or cross it one time. They can have two roots. They cross or touch the x-axis two times, or they can have no real roots because it never touches or crosses the x-axis. You should be able to look at a graph and just by looking at it determine, does it have one root, two roots, or no roots? And you should be able to name them. And when we name them, we put them in set builder notation. So let's look at example A that I've drawn there, and I would probably recommend that you guys go ahead and put that into your notes this morning. Example A. That parabola is sitting with a vertex of 0, 3. It's opening upwards. So is the vertex at a minimum or a maximum, class? It's at a minimum because it's the lowest point on the graph. Do you all see that graph, in graph A, does it ever come anywhere near the x-axis? So you would say it has no real roots. Is everyone with me? No real roots. Okay, graph B touches or intercepts the x-axis twice. It touches at positive 2 and at negative 2. So it has two real roots, negative 2 and positive 2, or you could write plus and minus 2. So if it asks you, hey, look at the graph, how many roots does it have? Your answer is either going to be 0 roots, no real roots, 1 root, or 2 roots. And then graph C has 1 root, and that touches or intercepts at 0. So let's not confuse anything. Let's say it this way. They can have 1 root, 2 roots, or no real roots. Let's not say 0 roots because 0 may actually be part of the solution. All right. Anybody have a question on that? Y'all with me? We're good? All right. Let's go ahead and look at what we've got in our notes. So, the solutions of a quadratic equation, again, are called the roots of the equation. The roots of a quadratic equation can be found by graphing the related function and finding the x-intercepts or the roots. We also call them the zeros of the function, and they're called the zeros because y, the y coordinate is equal to 0. So if I said to you, and the questions that I would ask, just so you know, it would already be graphed for you. Is everybody listening? If I wanted to test this concept, I would have a graph and I would say to you, how many roots are there? In this particular example, can you all tell that there are 2 roots? Yes, we know that it is to the left of 0, so my 2 roots would be negative 1 and negative 3. Does anyone have a question on determining what the root is? No. Okay. And then in this particular graph over here, also in your notes, there is only 1 root because it only touches the x-axis one time, and the answer would be positive 3. Okay? You all with me? Yes? Alrighty. This concludes our lesson for today. I hope you all have a wonderful day.